My name is Griffin Kelly. I'm a physical therapist and the owner of Perspective Physical Therapy and Performance.
Honestly, the secret sauce to Perspective Physical Therapy is that individualized attention.
Being with Griffin has changed my life, absolutely, because I was convinced at my age and having had previous meniscus surgery and broken my patella and having other issues that you do when you get older, that running, jogging, all that I loved to do when I was younger was behind me, and I was not going to be able to ever do that again.
So I never ever went to physical therapy prior to seeing Griffin here at Perspective, and it was always chiropractic visits. You hear so many horror stories of people going to physical therapy, and it's just like a mill. Let's get you through, here's a couple exercises, this should work, and it's a numbers game. How quickly can they get people through? That's the exact opposite of Griffin and Perspective here. He will spend as much time with you and really dive in, and he is so dialed in and so passionate that every single time you come back, you know that, okay, we're making progress, he cares about my progress, and he wants me to do even better going forward.
So one thing as a woman and as having roles and having responsibilities I've always done is just push through. And then he said, well, I'm gonna do what's called passive range of motion. And I'm like, yeah, I've had this before, I know. And that's where he pushes and does his. And he said, I wanna tell you what I've noticed. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. And he's like, I can move you farther than you're moving yourself. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, like it's like 5 to 10 degrees. Your body can move farther than you're letting it. And it hit me. I mean, this was the first visit. No one had ever really noticed this. I was guarding.
We talked for the first 15 minutes or so of the session just to kind of establish, what we've done over the last 30 days and what seems to be fixing and addressing issues and what we can do better. And, I come with different problems every time. Sometimes it's, my back's tight, or, a lot of it's hips, ankles, Achilles, and, the approach, like I said, it's just this constant feedback loop. I can get a hold of them and say, hey, I had rolled my ankle at one point and said, man, this is pretty bad. So 3 or 4 days later, I got in, we kind of started working on some ankle stability issues because I've had ankle issues and injuries since I was probably in 8th grade.
So we work with a lot of people with chronic issues. And what I mean by that is something that's been going on for longer than 3 months. Some people, they've been dealing with things for years and they've been to different medical providers and rehab professionals and are still dealing with things that have been impacting their life. And we are typically an option for people that are looking for a different viewpoint and a different option or plan to really start to address those chronic issues and provide a holistic, individualized approach to really get them back to a thriving life. So we start out with an 1.5 hour evaluation where really the first part and the most important part is sitting down and hearing someone's story and what they're dealing with, what they've gone through, because that creates the next process of doing the assessments and really getting a clear understanding of what we're seeing, of how they're moving and what's going on based on subjectively what they've told me. And we can start to put those pieces together and start to create clarity for somebody. And when we create clarity with confidence and start to create a plan for someone, that makes a big difference in how we start to work together to deal with some of these chronic issues that, again, they've been dealing with for 3, 6 months, maybe even years. And so that process early on makes a big difference for the next couple months as we start to work together. And people see a big difference and really get back to thriving in the goals that they set out early on.
I discovered Perspective Physical Therapy by searching online. I read the Google reviews and saw right off the bat that he wasn't like any other physical therapist I'd been to before, which was what I was looking for. I wanted someone who was really going to personalize their program to my particular needs.
So I own my own landscaping company, and while I'm an owner, I'm really still an operator as well. So for example, I was finding myself limping around a lot. I knew Griffin was made for this. He had been a physical therapist for another practice previous to him starting his own practice. So the faith I had in Griffin, was immense.
Griffin is an incredible man. He's very passionate and wants to make a difference. And you can tell that he genuinely cares about each and every person he interacts with.